time.
All right, so this is the malfunction I was talking about. It's pops up on your instrument cluster, auxiliary battery malfunction. So this is the battery that allows you on your W212 to shift with the stalk on the steering wheel. So that's why so right now I'm in park. If I were to put it in drive, that is actually operated or powered by the battery, this auxiliary battery. That allows you to shift gear or put in neutral in case your car doesn't start or your main battery dies. So let's get to it and show you how to change that out. All right, guys, so I ordered the battery from Mercedes. That's the part number there. I'll put in the description as well. It's not unique to the W212. A lot of Mercedes use this battery. And one thing that I've also noticed on my car, besides just the malfunction notification coming up on the cluster, is that the hold feature with the brake stopped working. So the hold feature on Mercedes is basically you have your foot on the brake and you depress it down all the way, or you just pump it, and it'll actually hold the brake. So if you're up a hill or stopped at a light, you don't actually have to keep your foot on the brake. It'll actually hold the brake for you, and then it'll release it once you press the accelerator. So I actually love that feature. It's one of my favorite features on the car. And it stopped working, and I did some research, and apparently this also controls that. So hopefully this will fix or correct that problem, and we could get it back on the road at 100%. First step is going to be to disconnect the main battery from the car. Whenever you work on anything electrical on the Mercedes, that should always be a first step. Disconnect the battery. I'm going to include it in the video just in case, but it should be pretty straightforward. All right, so we're going to disconnect this battery. It's a very windy day today, so I apologize if we're going to get a lot of wind noise. So the battery is located under this recirculation pod for the cabin filter, and it just has these spring clips here. I think there's 3 of them. 1, 2, and this one you don't need any tools for this. And then this just pops out and exposes the battery. So we're just gonna disconnect the negative terminal, which is this one. And once we do that, we could go ahead and start installing our new battery. So I just wrapped the terminal on around the cloth just so it doesn't contact anything metal and arc. Again, it's very windy today, so I'm a little bit worried that the hood will come flying down. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna lower it so that I don't have to worry about that. Alright, so the battery's located in here. So the owner's manual or the factory manual, the way it says to remove it is there's a 10 millimeter bolt in here that secures the bracket that holds the battery in place, and then you're supposed to drop the battery out from the bottom. So first step is going to be to take a look in here and see if we can find that bolt. I'm just going to use a pry tool. Pry it open. Basically there's 3 clips, and these 2 hooks just hook on like that. 2 of my wire clips stayed in there, so I just gotta remove them so I don't lose them. Alright, got the cover off, and this is the 10mm bolt I was talking about. It's hard to see because it's dark in there, but the battery is directly behind here. I can touch it with my finger. See if I can. It's kind of dark in there. See if I could shine the light in there just so you can see it. Well, I don't know how clear that is, but there's the battery sits directly behind here. In any case, I noticed there's a, oddly enough, battery-shaped hole here. So I'm wondering if there's a way to install it through here, although this is not what the factory manual calls for. So I'm gonna just open up this flap here on the bottom, this panel. It just has some Torx head screws. It has 3 of them across the bottom here of the dashboard. So I'm just gonna pull those 3 out and see if this will drop enough that I can reach my hand up in here and just have a little bit more access. The main thing here is if you're juggling around with the battery, do not let the battery touch any of the body and arc, because you'll either destroy the battery or you could cause some other problems with the car. So that's the most important thing, is to not be fumbling with the battery and have it arc while you're trying to install it. Alright, so we got the panel unsecured. We removed those 3 screws, which, by the way, those are Torx 25. There's 3 of them. Now, the amount that you could pull this down is limited by all the connectors here. The first one, or the shortest one, is this release for the hood latch. So what you have to do is kind of feed it back up through this hole, and then you can pull this down further, and then you could see that there's part of the HVAC system is molded into this panel, and there's a sensor here. You just do like a 1/4 turn and you could remove that easily. And then there's also a light here that should also be a 1/4 turn, and you can remove that. Just go a little bit lower here. So then you just need to unsecure this cable from these little hooks that are molded into the panel. Alright, now you have a little bit more room, and what I'm gonna do is this is your OBD2 plug. I'm gonna just try to snake this out of the way without having to remove that. Alright, so I cannot get this snaked out or moved to the side because this panel actually goes behind the pedal, so it's too difficult. So all I'm gonna do to remove this OBD connector is there's like a clip. It's kind of hard to see, but there's a collar. All you gotta do is pull that this way, and then that will allow the plug to pull off. So very simple. Don't try to pull it out straight. That's not how it works. You got this little guillotine design security piece. So let's get this out of the way. Alright guys, now that we got the panel out of the way, I'm just going to show you super easy access. Here's our battery. Sorry, this thing keeps dangling in the way, but here's our battery right there. If I stick my hand through our side piece on the dashboard, you could see my hands right here. So this is the battery. This metal bracket is what holds it in place. So let's get that 10mm bolt removed and drop this out of the way. Okay, we got the battery out. You see, double check that it's the same part number, and it is same size, same dimensions. So to put this back in, here's the metal bracket that holds the battery in place, and then there's the battery terminals are actually color coded. Let me see if I can move the camera so you can see that. But you know, there's a black and a red terminal so that you don't mix up which connector goes where. And then the battery also has a red and black spot painted on the terminals, so you can't really get them mixed up. So next step is going to be to put this back in the bracket here, and then feed it up into place, get our connectors plugged in, and then put that 10mm bolt back in. Okay, I just tightened this bolt back up, make sure it's nice and tight, and that should be it. So the next step should be to put everything back, but what we're gonna do first is put the hook up the main battery again and make sure everything's working properly before we put all of our panels back. Okay, moment of truth. I'm gonna start the car. Alright, so looks like no errors. If I go to malfunctions here, clock is resetting because it was disconnected for a while. Let's see here. No messages, so that corrected the problem. Now what I'm gonna do is just put the car in drive real quick. My door is open, so it's letting me know that. And if I ease off the brake, it should roll forward. Now if I press the brake and double pump, I guess it doesn't work. Alright guys, so that's it for this video. I just wanted to show you how easy it is to do this yourself, so that you don't have to spend the money going to a dealership or to a mechanic if your car's out of warranty. In any case, I also wanted to show you the hold feature on the brake, but and test it to make sure it's working again, but I really couldn't do that just because I only have maybe 3 feet in the driveway that I can move back and forth because I have cars parked behind me. So I couldn't really illustrate that, but next time I take it out for a drive, I will make sure that that's working. The other thing too is I know you're going to notice how loud the engine was whining. That's because I need to replace some of the pulleys on the engine. I think it's the idler pulley and the tensioner for the accessory belt. So, and with that, you also replace the belt. So that's my next job. but I know you're going to notice how loud that engine is, and that's not normal. In any case, hope this video helps you out if you ever plan on doing this yourself, or if you get this malfunction pop up on your dashboard. Thanks for watching. Please don't forget to like and subscribe. Have a good one.